you. I love my introduction because, well, I wrote it. So amazingness. Good morning, beautiful people. I'm grateful to be here with you today and bring you my flavor of imperfection and being unapologetically myself. So, as Norma spoke about, we believe in whole, perfect, and complete in truth with the capital T. However, in form, sometimes it doesn't always look perfect. We worry about how others perceive us. We look for that external validation and their thoughts, other people's thoughts, actions, opinions, sometimes shape how we look at ourselves. So the true freedom that we find and the true spiritual growth comes from releasing the need for approval and embracing our authentic selves, freeing us from the judgment of others. So, one of the lessons I've learned on my spiritual path is recognizing everyone is on their own journey. They don't necessarily have the same path I do. And with that, what they think of me is frankly none of my business. Their beliefs, their experiences, their limitations are theirs, just as mine are mine, and yours belong to you. It does not reflect our true worth. When we let go of that need of the external validation, we do free ourselves from the burden of judgment, our own and others. And we can open ourselves up for a deeper understanding of who we are. I know for me, the fear of judgment and external validation has prevented me from embracing a life I love. And even sometimes my spiritual crisis when I was first beginning as a spiritual life coach practitioner, I was worried if I was doing prayer right when I would pray out loud. Did I get all the steps in the right order? Was it big enough? Did I use the right words? And that concern for that validation kept me from my divine connection and true spiritual fulfillment. Once I let go of that, then my prayers became authentic, unapologetically, authentically me. I know it would be hard to tell, but I don't follow all the rules in life. However, I really do enjoy my spiritual connection, my connection with others, nature, the divine as one. So, venturing outside of that comfort zone transforms these experiences into personal growth and self realization paths. And we get to unveil our true authentic self to the world around us, stepping into what I would call some unfamiliar territory, kind of night flame with curiosity, propelling us to embrace new experiences and perspectives, shed layers of self imposed limitation, right? Because we are our biggest judges, with courageous steps revealing our greatness. As Ernest Holmes, founder of Science of Mind, says in Know Yourself, the spiritual universe then is not something to be attained or gained, as though we went from where it is not to where it is, but as something to which we must wake up, something we must become conscious of, something we must sense as being immediate. It is present with us and in us right now. That concept of the now moment is how my ministry began. Beginning within is all about embracing this spiritual universe and opening ourselves up to the possibility of learning and breakthroughs. In this, we become receptive to fresh ideas, maybe even alternative viewpoints. I know it's scary. Sometimes that brings innovative solutions. This newfound openness allows us to challenge our assumptions, think critically, and explore uncharted territories. Does that sound like fun? Are you ready? Are you ready to become more adaptable and resilient and capable of navigating some of life's twists and turns with a little bit more grace and agility? A growth mindset transforms us into lifelong learners seeking to expand. Again, Ernest Holmes tells us it seems as though behind, and this is my add on human versus man's, human spiritual growth, there is an irresistible pressure compelling more, better, higher, greater things. And it will all be in accordance with the natural law in the spiritual world. As a human soul, so shall be evolution and evolution, the thought and the thing, the word and the manifestation, the purpose and the execution. This is the sequence of cause and effect. And the way the law works, insofar as any individual understands this, the law of mind, he is able to use it. We must learn how it works and comply with the way it works. Always, it is an obedient servant. So, stepping out of that comfort zone when I first came to Science of Mind really changed my spiritual possibility. I became more attuned to beauty and interconnectedness of life and the sense of awe and gratitude because this was a new way of thinking for me, not an external God away from me, but an internal God in me and in you and in all. This created some more profound experience and moments of connection and transcended some of the limitations of my everyday existence. Recently, I was able to enjoy another experience of that when I visited southern Utah. I was in a dark sky area, meaning that there were no city lights. We were in the middle of nowhere out in rural Utah. And spending the night in this dome shaped clear room. And it was an amazing experience. And there was a deck outside. And as I laid on this deck, each way I turned, whether it was left, right, up, down, since there were no mountains or anything, and we were just on flat land, everywhere I looked in the sky, there was stars, the Milky Way. It was unfathomable, the vastness of it. And I felt the borders of my being just being dissolved as if I were part of that universe with no separation. And ultimately, we are. Venturing outside comfort zones transforms at the core. That's where the authenticity, resilience, open mindedness, and becoming more spiritually aware starts to develop. We get this deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world, how leading a life with meaning and purpose and fulfillment can change us. We feel the divine and we're open at the top to remind ourselves who and whose we are. Rumi states, out beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. This is that quantum field that everyone gets to be in authentically. This authenticity, this imperfection of who we are and whose we are is valuable learning experience, not just for ourselves, but to have the compassion for others who may not live up to our expectations. It is a journey of self-discovery and self-acceptance. It requires us to be vulnerable and unapologetically honest with ourselves as we navigate some uncharted waters of authenticity. We discover new depths and within ourselves a deeper connection to the true essence, our true divineness, that whole, perfect, and complete soul who is and always has been divine. I know that this world sometimes pressures us to conform, and embracing our true selves can be a true act of bravery as well as liberation. Shedding some of the societal labels that don't resonate with our inner essence is the first step toward authenticity. These labels, such as successful or beautiful, as defined by society's standards, are often rooted in stereotypes and prejudices, limiting us and stifling growth. Letting go of this is crucial. And it reminds us that the most important thing is our divine essence, not limited by other people's perspectives or experiences. When we give them too much power, we allow them to define who we are. So let's practice some self-reflection and set some boundaries and surround ourselves with those supporting individuals. If you are here now, you probably have that tribe already. Those people that give you that encouragement, that love, that ability to be more of who you are. Authenticity is not about being perfect or flawless. Definitely not. It's about accepting your strengths and weaknesses, your quirks, your eccentricities. It's about living in alignment with your values and your beliefs, even if they're different from those around you. Authenticity requires courage and self-acceptance, and it means being willing to be vulnerable and show the world who you are. Yes, indeed, a very brave act that brings empowerment. It's taught me and brought me immense rewards. I experience a profound sense of peace and contentment, and I feel more connected to myself and others. I attract people who resonate with my energy, right? Because we're not for everybody, and that's okay. The people that are for me appreciate me for who I am. My relationships are built on trust and honesty and mutual respect. These are the rewards of being authentically me, and they inspire me to continue on my path. Speaking of being beautiful, be you to be full, authenticity is a way to lead to greater joy and fulfillment. Have more energy, more of the things you love, pursue more passions, explore creativity, and have a positive impact on the world around you. Authenticity is our birthright. You were born to be you, not anybody else. You are divine and beautiful just as you are. So don't be a copy of someone else. The key to this fulfilling life is to embrace your true self, shed what society says you should be, and let your light, your beautiful, bright, brilliant light shine. The world needs your unique gifts, or you wouldn't be here. So you said, that sounds great, Reverend Jeannie. How do I do it? How do we get there? Well, here's a few practices, tried and true methods by yours truly, to see how we can get more authentic, more beautiful every day. One, Cultivate self-awareness. You can't go where you don't know. You have to look at yourself. You have to dive deep into this transformative journey that will empower you to be a better individual and better understand your thoughts and emotions and behaviors. Central to this process is paying close attention to your inner world. What happens in your mind, in your heart, these feelings, these sensations, right? Without judgment or criticism. Mindfulness practices like meditation and cultivating some different ways of staying present in the now moment. One of my favorites is looking where my feet are. I love to see where my feet are when they're on sand at a beach or grass at a beautiful place. But sometimes it's just in my home office so that I know where I'm at and what I'm doing. This allows us to observe our mental and emotional landscape when we're being mindful of where we are. When we engage in this self-awareness, you can recognize some patterns to your thought processes and behaviors. You may notice that you're seeking external validation from others to boost self-worth. This realization empowers you to take control of those thoughts. And instead of relying on that, shift your perspective. See where you, as the divine self, can validate yourself. You learn to accept and appreciate yourself for who you are, regardless of any expectations. This enables you to make conscious choices aligned with your values and aspirations. 2, challenge your beliefs. Reflecting on your beliefs about others' perceptions of you is essential to cultivating healthy relationships and personal well-being. Often our beliefs about what others think are shaped by assumptions rather than concrete evidence. So let's question the basis of where these beliefs came from and gain clarity to avoid unnecessary distress. Consider a situation where you believe someone thinks negatively of you, such as you're not good enough, you're not educated enough, you're not beautiful enough, you're not enough somewhere. Rather than immediately assuming this is true, that that's what they're thinking, ask yourself, do you have tangible proof? Can you support that idea? Are there specific actions or words from this individual that indicate their negative perception? Or are these your insecurities and self-doubt influencing your interpretation of their behavior? It's important to recognize that our perception of others' thoughts and feelings is often subjective and influenced by our own experiences and biases and emotional state. When we make these assumptions about what others are thinking without concrete evidence, we run the risk of unnecessary conflict and perpetuating negative self-perceptions. Engaging in self-reflection and mindfulness practices can help us gain a more precise understanding of ourselves. When you think someone thinks something negative of you, pay attention to your thoughts and feelings. Are you basing this on past experiences or present circumstances? Or are you prone to self-criticism? Consider seeking some feedback from your minister, from a practitioner, from a therapist, from your best friend. Check in, see if what it is you're thinking and being with is actually true. Remember, it's not possible to know exactly what other people are thinking. However, by reflecting on your own beliefs and seeking an alternative perspective, you can cultivate a more balanced and compassionate understanding of yourself and your relationships. And that leads to the third one, practice self-compassion. Amidst the turbulence of this life, where self-doubt and criticism can cloud our minds, it's imperative to extend the same kindness and gentleness we give to others to embrace ourselves. Embrace these imperfections, acknowledge our strengths, and remind ourselves of our worthiness, regardless of the opinions and judgments of others. Your value remains unwavering. So be gentle with that heart as it carries the weight of your emotions and experiences. Handle it with care, for it deserves love and compassion. Remember, you are worthy of love. You are worthy of acceptance, not because of any achievement or external validation, but simply because you exist. Your existence is proof of the beauty and the complexity of life. So embrace this self-journey, this self-acceptance, and know you are worthy of all the world's love and happiness. And last but not least, number 4, focus on your growth. Instead of worrying about what others think, focus on your personal spiritual development. This powerful mind shift can lead to a more fulfilling and meaningful life. You will also develop a deeper connection to your inner self and the divine. Focusing on your personal and spiritual development does not mean you should ignore your responsibilities or neglect your relationships. However, it does mean that you should prioritize your well-being and happiness. When you're taking care of yourself, you are better able to care for others. You're also more likely to attract positive people and experiences into your life. When you focus on your personal and spiritual development, you invest in a future. You create a foundation for a happy, healthy, and fulfilling life. So let go of your worries and what others think and embrace your self journey and your growth. I have a little poem for you now to kind of seal this on our journey. I took care of myself, and it wasn't beautiful. I took care of myself, and I looked at the overdue bills in the face and even thought it hurt. I took care of myself, and I cried ugly through the therapy session and made another appointment for next week. I put in the work and wrote all the bad memories in detail. I apologized to all the friends I didn't have the energy to talk to. I finally cut off the dead ends of my hair and bought produce and slimly avoided sustaining myself on barbecue chips and poetry. I recycled. I set an alarm for 8 hours of sleep and did not sleep more or less. I took care of myself, and it wasn't bubble baths. It wasn't lotion at Bath and Body Works and 3-cheese pizza. It was uncomfortable. It wasn't beautiful, but I am. And it didn't have to be beautiful to be worth it. This is by Schuler Peck. The greatest act of self-love isn't always perfect. So I am so grateful to have been here to celebrate this time with all of you this Sunday. Know that you are beautiful, you are worthy, you are divine. And if you ever forget that, remember, Reverend Jeannie loves you. Mwah! Have a great day, beloveds.